Welcome everyone! Adam the Woo here as the recording of this TGIF. It is Friday, May 23rd, 2025, and I am going to be heading over to Walt Disney World's EPCOT Center where I can peruse around World Showcase, and it will be the first time that I've seen the Mexico Pavilion and the pyramid and the boat ride since returning from earlier this month's Mexico City trip. Gonna be kind of neat. And there is a new annual pass holder magnet. I believe it is Maleficent. I'm gonna pick that up because I am an AP, an annual pass holder. And in the Morocco Pavilion is an annual pass holder lounge that just opened about a week ago. They've had that in years past, and this year's has opened. So I'm gonna check that out and just have an evening, well, an early afternoon into evening day at WDW EPCOT. I'm inviting you to join me, and I have my cap that I bought in Mexico. I feel it's appropriate to wear the hat I purchased there when going around World Showcase and seeing the Mexico Pavilion for the first time since returning. Join me. Good to have you here. Shall you? Oh yeah, I forgot to show this yesterday when I was showing the garage. I've added more international magnets here. So far this year, I've gone to Belize, I've been to England, I've been to Ecuador, I've been to Canada, I've been to South Korea, and then this month, Mexico. And I got a few from there. Now this particular spot here, one of the pyramids there was a half inspiration for the one that is at the Mexico Pavilion at EPCOT. It's based on two different ones, but the carvings on this property, I'll show a photo when I get there, is what they use for the carvings at EPCOT Center. So kind of a nice little tie-in. Yeah, my international cabinet is going to be growing over time. These are all my domestic US ones, Disney ones. I'll add the Maleficent one there a little later. My international one will continue to grow down the side of this cabinet. Love it. Approaching the experimental experimental prototype community of tomorrow, or experimental prototype city of tomorrow, depending on which interview with Walt you watched. He said city and community. They both start with a C, so it's both applicable. Not EPTOP, EPCOT. Glad I'm wearing this hat because the sun, got my phone here, scorchingly hot. It is 94 degrees at the moment at 3:45 p.m. Sun is not going to set till after 8, so quite a bit of sun till then. 94, wow. 94 at 4 p.m., well, 15 minutes to 4. As soon as I got out of my car, there was someone walking by on the other row, parked on the one row over. And as he was walking, he was talking to his girlfriend or friend and said, "The sun better effing set soon." I'm paraphrasing. I'm not toning it down. I feel you, man. I feel you. All right, no tram for me. I'm going to walk. I am parked over in, used to be Discover. You can still see where it says Discover 209. Used to be Discover 10. You can see the 10 right there, but now it's Discover. Well, was Discover, now it's Crush 209. Don't forget, I'm in Crush 209, 209, Crush 209, I'm in Crush 209, not Discover 10, Crush 209. Got it. Committed it to memory. Yeah, I'll probably forget. Glorious tram going by. Spaceship Earth. Oh, EPCOT's open till 9. Just heard the tram narrator.
Also at 9 p.m. will be our nighttime show, Luminescence.
A nighttime spectacular. I always like how these two random trees are right here. They don't need to be, but they just left those two trees there. I like that. Right there in the middle. Now you can't go over there to get shade. You're not supposed to cross over into that section, but yeah, in any moment, I should be getting the monorail coming by too. I might get a monorail view. A little WDW monorail. Last monorail I saw was a Disneyland monorail. This is the hack. So instead of walking there, or walking there, I walk here in the monorail beam. Just subtly, kind of, sort of in the sun. Okay, you ready for it? Over here next to the golf cart, the trucks, the cones. There it is. in all its glory. I'm using glory a lot today. There goes the monorail. I am going to go and get a piping hot caffeinated beverage. Now I know it's kind of weird that as scorching as it is outside, I would get a piping hot caffeinated beverage, but I prefer hot coffee even on the hottest of days. I just really don't really like cold coffee. I like a nice cold water or like a Powerade, Gatorade or something to hydrate me, but when it comes to coffee and the caffeine persuasion, I just like a hot coffee. I don't know, I've just always kind of been that way when it comes to coffee. I would say 99 out of 100 times I get coffee, it's always hot. Actually 999 out of 1,000. But there's 999 piping hot caffeinated beverages, but there's room for 1,000. Right, I made it underneath Spaceship Earth mirror wall. A glory. I got a hole on my hat because this is like a little wind tunnel underneath here. It really gets very, very blustery and gusty right underneath here. All right, they do not have mobile order in this particular Starbucks, but the line usually moves pretty quick. So, all right, coffee achieved. Sugar-free SFV. I've never seen them put SFV on that before, but that is sugar-free vanilla latte right there. Gonna head over to the Creation Shop now and get my Maleficent magnet, Passholder magnet. Just gotta follow the signs here. No one is in line. No, I mean, I think they came out like a week ago, so there's not like a massive demand to wait in line for these anymore, but they still have the little stanchions up, Creation Shop. All right, there it is. Another one for my magnet collection over here. They also have the 4th of July merchandise out over here as well. Stars and stripes over here. You got the hat, you got the little lug bag over here, you got Mickey. This will all be out till probably, first week of July, after July the 4th, Independence Day. This is new. I don't think I've ever seen at the parks anyway, a red Darth Vader shirt. That's new right there. Take a look at that. Way too hot to be wearing this Stitch one right here, but that is, I should wear that when I go see the new movie whenever I finally see it. But I've heard people who've seen it said it's pretty good. Oh yeah. Sipping on a little coffee action. Looking some flowers. Flower and Garden Festival, I think, ends in over a week, a little over a week. So I'm catching the tail end of the Flower and Garden Festival. There's some flowers right here. There are some gardens over there. And the monorail looping around. All right, I'm gonna head over to Mexico. All right, there it is. Again, this is the first time ever since I've been to one of the 2 different pyramids this was modeled after, that I'm gonna be going inside. And take a look up here. Take a look at the little carvings right here. This is around the side. They got some scaffolding up over here where the exit used to be. But take a look right here. There used to be an exit over here, but obviously they're doing something over in that direction. They're having the exit going in the entrance. But this is based on 2. There was another part of Mexico closer to where the cruise ship ports are. I think sometimes on the cruise ships you get to see this if you take like a bus trip from the cruise ship stop-offs, as far as the angle of the pyramid. But that particular pyramid in Mexico does not have these animal carvings. The one I went to on the outskirts about, 30, 45 minutes from Mexico City does. All right, this is the photo I have on my phone. You can see how there are those carvings going up the side of the stairs there. Yeah, that was kind of like way into the little pyramid area, kind of tucked away behind a newer pyramid that was built, because every 52 years, they end up building new pyramids, and they have I think it's called like the cycle of life, like every 52 years based on the 52 weeks. But instead of 52 weeks in a year, they do 52 years in a cycle of life, even though most people live way longer than 52 years. But yeah, that's something I kind of sort of learned when I was there. I go on the Grand Fiesta tour. Now, I did a boat ride in Mexico. It was not self-propelled. The guide ended up having a very long stick that was longer than the depth of the river, and was using that to push the boat ride along. And I went to the island of the Dolls, and it was like an hour and 45 minutes one way, an hour and 45 minutes the other way. But I went on my own real Grand Fiesta tour. Now I'm back to go on an attraction I've been on 100 times, the Grand Fiesta tour here at EPCOT, starring the 3 caballeros. But I love this night for day scenario, even though it's daytime outside for a few more hours. Always nighttime in here. That's kind of a different vibe when you've actually been to the spots in real life and then return. Some skulls down here. The whole main area is kind of like one big gift shop, if you will. You got all the porcelain pigs here, painted.
skulls. God, they have passports here as well. These will not be, TSA will not let you through at an airport with these, but you can go around and get these stamped around World Showcase. I don't know why I've never done this, but it'd be kind of neat to do that at some point. The only problem is I'd probably bring that one on the road and leave my real passport at home, and then I'd be really confused. Oh, there's a little Mickey pen with his sombrero on right there. There he is, going up the side of the pyramid. That's neat. Another pyramid over there, and a volcano that is erupting. I was showed, one of the guides on one of the days I was there showed me a former volcano that's now just a mountain. But they do have volcanoes, or did have active volcanoes in Mexico. I don't know the last time one has erupted. Yeah, I've looked at this pyramid going on the boat ride hundreds of times in my life. And I always like, oh, that's just a pyramid. And to see real pyramids, just kind of, it's just like a cool experience to see the real ones. It's actually kind of a long line for Grand Fiesta. Like pretty full queue. Full queue going into here. All right, boat number 29. We'll be heading in towards, it's kind of a wild boat. Definitely it's a party boat over here. You get to see the Olmec head too. Olmec is like one of the 3 different styles. The Aztec, Olmec, and there's one other one. See an Olmec head before going into here.
And that's our weight check.
Just put me on a boat ride at any Disney park and I'm happy.
Oh yeah, dude, that's like an excellent. Yeah. I like to do that sometimes.
There's the Olmec head. Kind of neat going through, noticing things that I had never really had no association with. I mean, I just knew it from the ride and the attraction, but after going, to Mexico City per se and seeing some of the stuff, there's a lot of stuff that is very, very, reminiscent of where I just was. I mean, it's used as the inspiration, and there is a reason on why this stuff's all in here. For example, the boat was the same type of boat where it says Viva Donald, and that was the same style of the boat, with the guy with the big wooden, not paddle, but the big wooden stick was like propelling us down the river over to the Doll Island, which I thought was pretty cool. And then also there is like the fountain in Mexico City, and even the sculpture, which is the angel over in Mexico City. Got to see that as well. So kind of neat to see all that on the attraction now. And I will never ride that attraction without the newfound knowledge of the last country I just went to. And I could probably start doing that more and more when it goes to countries I've been to, then pop over into EPCOT and check out the attractions that coincide. I'm not going in order of all the countries. I don't even know if the next country or two I'm going to go to is even going to be here in EPCOT, but over time I will. That was cool. That was really cool. Again, I've been on that attraction hundreds of times. First time I've noticed a lot of things I never noticed before, and their correlation to the actual country. They got some construction walls up over here. So if you look over here, between Mexico and Norway, construction walls up. They're doing something. I can hear from here. I can hear the drummers over in Japan. In the distance, you got World Showcase Lagoon here. One of the coolest things when I was in Mexico, right over here, the mariachi band performed. They just got done. They were walking back as I was exiting out. But I got to see a real Mexico mariachi band board my boat when I was in Mexico City and perform a song or two, which is really cool. The La Arona song. To get over to Norway one day. I wonder if Norway really has grass growing on the top of the roofs like that. What happened? Lose a contact? Oh. Yeah. Came unwound. What's going on here? Turning this way. They're like animatronics. Lifelike. I feel a drum solo coming up right here. I can feel it. Back over into Morocco now to the restaurant Marrakesh, which is around the corner, which has, so you can pass in the Lamps of Wonder sign. There used to be a camel right here, but they removed the camel. And then you got restaurant Marrakesh, which is the annual pass holder line. I did not think there was going to be anybody in line, but I guess everybody wants to get out of the heat. This is the annual pass holder lounge. I haven't been in here since last year when they opened it, but it opened again this year, about a week ago. All right, I'm in. Upon entry, they check my ID and my annual pass, and they give you, I think that you only get this the first time you walk in. After that, you don't get the pin anymore. The restaurant hasn't been open in many years. They only use it for like a month out of the year for the lounge. Maybe a month and a half, 2 months, but they don't use it all the time. They certainly do not use it for a restaurant anymore. It's just for photo ops. You get some Moroccan tea, you can get some water, things like that. But check out this letter from George Washington to His Majesty Mohammed III of Morocco. This is a facsimile, so it's not the original one, but it's kind of neat, right? I love all the tile work, all the detail in here. Kind of nice if they open this restaurant again at some point. Very, very beautiful. I love all the tile work in here. Just nice to be able to pop in, but if you're not an annual pass holder, you would never even be able to see this place. Chandelier in here among all the tile. And then over here is where they have the free snacks and things. Over here by this table.
It's only fruit this time.
Oh, it's fruit?
Yes.
Okay.
I think I'm okay on that, but I'll have some mint tea. Thank you.
It's so delicious.
I had some last year, but it's been a year, so I'll try some more. Got the Moroccan mint tea. Right here.
You're very welcome.
Also, I don't think they're doing the characters this time. Last year they had Abu and they had Genie and they had Aladdin. This year you just get a picture with the magic lamp, but I haven't seen any characters in here. It's also really busy in here. All right, success, and doesn't quite feel as hot out here. Of course, I am kind of still in the shade, but I'm thinking definitely the hottest portion of the day is kind of come and gone. I like it too over here because they pump in sounds like you're in Morocco. They have up here, they have like street vendor sounds coming from that little speaker up there. The Eiffel Tower up there. Well, the version of the Eiffel Tower. Peeking out over back there's Ratatouille, which opened a few years ago. This is nice. The walls that were over here at the Canada Pavilion have finally been taken down. They were up for, I don't know, like a year or so, but they've finally been taken down. The Canada Pavilion, you can now walk up these stairs once again. Right here, you can walk up these stairs. 5 minutes living with the land boat ride. In case you were confused, it says right there on the sign what kind of attraction it is. Boat ride. 5-minute wait. Not even an extended queue at all. It's just the regular queue right here. All this extended queue completely empty. I like that. It's close to, about as close to a walk-on as you can get. 5 minutes is pretty accurate. Probably closer. Yeah, let's call it 5. Living with the land. I remember back in the day, early 2000s, there used to be a cast member right here standing, and they would give the spiel standing here, and they had a little box here with a microphone, and it would be a complete spiel as opposed to an automated one. It would be a real cast member talking. Those days are long over. And I have the front row here. I get a good view of the lightning storm. Front row is always the best for filming the lightning storm in the rain. Where's the lighting? So good. Going into the rainforest, the waterfall, the restaurant up top there. Like this area over here, you have alligators. Got some monkeys, you got some parrots. Just love this little section through here. Look at these little monkeys right here. It's a mama monkey. This baby on its back. Right there, you got the parrots. Gators down there. There's a gator there. There's a gator there. Gator there. That one seems pretty submerged. That gator did not want to come up. And into the barren landscape of the desert. One of my favorite rides at Epcot. It's classic, vintage Epcot. Reminding everyone to please keep arms, legs, feet, hands, and other appendages inside the boat at all times. This is kind of like the Wonka tunnel. The rowers keep on rowing. They're showing no signs that they are slowing.
Keep the hands, arms, feet, and legs inside the boat at all times. Thank you.
It says up top. It's a circular E. The half circle E.
7:13 right now. Sunshine Seasons. I always like eating over here. They're closed already. The only thing they're open for is like quick service. They have some little snacky stuff over here you can get, but any of the actual prepared food, I think they close at 6, maybe 7, but I am gonna get a sugar-free lemonade. I like Sunshine Seasons. I can remember back in the day, this was open till close. I remember my family and I would come to Epcot way back in the day. At least I'm going off memory. My memory could completely fail me. Maybe it hasn't been open till close, but I just remember that being a lot busier. That was before all the food festivals and all that around World Showcase. But I love getting the pasta over here. They have pasta salad, which they're all out of right now. But you can still get like cookies and pastries, frosted flakes, things like that. Look at this chocolate hazelnut cookie, a cherry pie cookie, a chocolate chunk cookie, which is pretty nice. And then you got the little spots over here you can get a drink. Sugar-free Minute Maid lemonade for the win. Not complimentary. You gotta pay for it through the line. They're open to take your money. It's as if the Living Seas is closed. Maybe it's just down, or maybe they're having an event or something. But Living Seas currently down. Stand on there, raise your arms, try working as a group. Then you go up like that. Ooh, almost had it. Ooh, here we go. Here we go. We're at one with the water right here. We're at one with the water. Woo-hoo-hoo. That's how it's done with the sea. Channeling Maui. Oh, that's how it's done. We ended up going by the Walt the Dreamer sculpture. Of course, Walt overlooking his park that he came up with the idea for. And that's not exactly how it was, how he envisioned it, but it has some portions of it as if he wanted it to be. EPCOT, experimental prototype community or city of tomorrow. And then I figured I'd walk over to Guardians and see what it was going to be like, but it ended up being an 80-minute standby for Guardians. They've gotten rid of the virtual queue, which is kind of nice, but at this time of the night on a Friday, it's definitely pretty long. It stretched way outside the internal queue. But I ended up getting a nice little view of the monorail as it went by with Spaceship Earth behind it and the ship from Guardians and all that. So I got to do that, and now I'm gonna make my way back over to Soarin'. It's only a 25-minute wait for Soarin', and on the way over there, stop up here with the polar bears and pause and refresh for a little Club Cool. You know what? Why not go in on a little Beverly here? Why not? Still got to get to Italy. I wonder if they actually really do serve Italy or Beverly in Italy. Ugh. Ooh, looking like Spaceship Earth is only a 5-minute, so I'm going to hop in line to go through this fantastic sphere at night. It says 5 minutes, and I believe it's probably more like 2.5 minutes, but let's call it 5 minutes, right? Oh, what an incredible classic EPCOT attraction. Dare I say my favorite attraction out here? I mean, Living with the Land's a tough one to, I don't know, it's tough. I can't really pick a favorite, but it's definitely quintessential. I think honestly, this is probably my favorite one. I think this just wins out over Living with the Land, but not by much. Not by much. A true marvel of innovation and theme park attraction. Door just closed. Going up the lift hill, taking a journey back in time. There they are. Remember how easy it was to learn your ABCs? Think the Phoenicians. They're right here. All right, gonna call it a night. Got my magnet. Did the things I wanted to do throughout the course of the day and into the evening. I gotta say, the weather now is absolutely amazing in every way, shape, or form. It is beautifully comfortable out here at the moment. And the fireworks from the nighttime spectacular around the World Showcase Lagoon is happening as the tram, people are letting out. The park is officially closed, but you could stick in and watch the fireworks if you so choose, and getting a nice little view here of monorail pulling back into the station to pick people up, take them to TTC, Transportation Ticket Center. And that's going to do it for today. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video, the vlog. Peace out. Oh, even from farther back in the parking lot. Look at that. So I can maybe get the grand finale from here. Possibly. There it is. Watching it from the parking lot. Easy exit afterwards. See some lights. That's happening. All right, let's see what happens. I don't know why I'm trying to guess when the grand finale is going to be. I've been wrong every. That's it.